Where was that? Patterson?
Patterson, New Jersey.
I think that's wonderful.
But I have something to show you.
She's precious. She's nice.
Okay, I guess it's now. This was a picture of me when I was 18 years old, working for the Red Cross. On Saturdays, I volunteered for the Red Cross in the blood bank. So that was me in my Red Cross uniform. And that was my future husband. He didn't know it, but because you know what? I lived with them, and he had another brother, which I never dated him first. But I lived with them. But I saw that this guy was running to his mother. He mopped the floor for her. He took out the garbage. The other younger brother, he only was looking for money.
Forget it.
Yeah, forget it. And he had a temper. I'm thinking to myself, we're only 18 years old. I figured, that's a good guy to get married to. He's going to be a good husband.
But he's good to his mother. He's good to his father.
That's how I felt about him. So that's what happened.
She was beautiful. Beautiful girl.
So on Saturdays, I went to the Red Cross and I worked in the blood bank. And I also went to the USO. On Thursday nights in Patterson, I go to the USO so I could dance with the sailors and soldiers and talk to them. And then in New York, on Saturday night, I'd go to a different place with a big temple there, and I would do USO there. And I sent stamps, you know, what they call the war stamps. For the bonds, remember? Do you remember that? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was second war bonds. Well, that funny thing happened. I'm out of Wright Aeronautical. What happened? I'll tell you what happened was my younger sister graduated from high school, and she got a job at Wright Aeronautical. And so she moved in with me, who I was living with this guy's mother. And we had to sleep together in the same bed. But that was nothing because we had to do that all our life anyway. Don't because there were 6 kids now. So she got a job in there also. And then after 2 years, well, I got to tell you, her mother was so nice to me. His mother was so nice to me. She only charged me $4 a week, and she gave me dinner. What could be bad? So where was I? Oh yeah, so my sister came in, and after 2 years, that's why I always said the war was 4 years. But I only stayed with the Wrights for 2 years because there were situations coming up in that family because they had a daughter, and the daughter had a husband, and he had a son, and they lost their job, and it was whatever they did, they came back. And so they made it very difficult for my sister and I, so we just decided to go back home. So that's what happened. And I'll tell one more thing. When I got back home, I got another job with a contracting company, and I made $45 a week instead of $35 I was getting at Rice. So that's my story. Any questions?
What year was it?
What?
What year was it when you started it?
When I started,
at Wright.
1941. Right after World War. Right after World War.
Just 14.
Pearl Harbor. What? Yes.
Where did Jake ship out from, and where was he
Oh,
going?
that's very interesting. And from here, from Florida, from Boca Raton. You wouldn't believe it. And he came back from Boca Raton. And when he came back, he got a 40-day leave. That's when we got married. And I said, oh, well, we'll just go, from honeymoon, we'll go up to the Catskill Mountains. I said, oh, no, you've got to come to Florida and see Boca Raton. At that time, Boca Raton only had maybe 400 people living there.
One wooden bridge.
It was a small town at that time.
One wooden bridge over the Intracoastal.
I can't hear you.
In those days, Boca had one wooden bridge over the Intracoastal.
One bridge. It was a very small town.
An old wooden bridge.
You were there, you remember it? Did you live in Boca then?
No, but shortly after.
Oh. Well, I tell you, I wanted to live there. I loved it so much.
I've lived there now 50 years.
Oh, really? I was very anxious to live there, but things happened because I had quit my job. I'm a good quitter of jobs when I don't like to work with them. But I had quit the job when I got married, and I thought that whatever we did, we couldn't live with anybody. We couldn't get a house, we couldn't get an apartment after the war. You know, this was 1945 now. It was very difficult to get a place to live. And I think it was so nice in Florida. I'd love to live in Florida. I had some friends there. He had some friends there too. And so we tried to get him to get a discharge in Florida. But his records were Fort Dix. And they wouldn't let, we had to go back to Fort Dix to get those papers. So that's how I didn't get to Florida. But I made my mind up. Someday I'm going to get to Florida. While we were there on our honeymoon, I was checking out the newspapers for see if I could get a job there. But the pay was so bad. I would have to work on 3 jobs to get what I was making in New York. So that's what this with the 2 things when I went back to New York. But lo and behold, we lived in Florida for 40 years.
I think so.
So that's my story.
Great story.
I don't know what happened to Wright Aeronautical.
What did your uncle do?
He
What service was he in?
Air Force.
Air Force.
Air Force.
So you have... You did. Yes, it's very good. It was beautiful. Hey, you know, now your uncle what did he do in the Air Force?
Oh, that's very interesting. My husband, you want to hear that?
Yeah, I want to know that.
He was an airplane mechanic. But
You said you worked at Wright Aeronautical.
he didn't stay in that because everybody got sick. All the soldiers got, what's this?
Was that red or blue?
Oh my goodness. Take the blue one. It was like, oh,
And do we have a,
that's going to be another story. We're going to put that away for another time, right?
absolutely.